Hey everybody!
Hi!
Today we're going to show you some of the same places we've shown you before, but today we're going to show you what they looked like once upon a time. We're going to go back in history.
Oh yeah, well today's date is January 11th, 2024, and these pictures are decades and decades old.
Yes, we got some old photos, and so let me turn the camera around first and show you where we are.
Okay.
And there we are. That is the library, the Marion County Library. But what used to be here, before it was the library, was Scotty's. What was Scotty's? Scotty's was a hardware store.
Yeah.
And before that, it was a place. It was like a big box store, I guess you would say, called J.M. Fields. Now I'm going to try to
Tell me where to go.
get it into the picture.
Uh-huh.
You know what? It'd be better to do a B-roll, I think.
Okay. All right.
So anyway, there it is right now. I'm showing you in the B-roll. So that's J.M. Fields, the way it used to look. And if you come back to the current picture, there it is. That's the library.
Yeah.
And I have a couple of stories from J.M. Fields. I'll tell you the one I like the most. I'll turn it around so I can look at you guys. So I was just a teenager.
Yeah.
My brother Bill and my brother Bob and I came here to J.M. Fields, and they had it was a big box store, so they had a music department, meaning records and cassettes and things like that.
Yeah.
And we came out to the car, and security chased us and said, "What are you guys walking so fast for?" And I didn't think we were walking fast, but they wondered if we had stolen something from the record section. And specifically, I thought we stole a cassette.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Now my brother Bill was wearing cowboy boots. They came out here to this parking lot where we're sitting right now, and they had him take off his boots, and of course they found nothing, because I don't steal, my brothers don't steal.
No,
and they were wrong.
Steal.
But you see what it was is security cameras were still new at that time.
Yeah.
And they probably were crappy. And so we were pointing to them because we thought that was something new. You know, hey, look, there's cameras on the ceiling.
Right.
And so their security guys were probably watching us, and you know, we're young kids, so they said, "Oh, they're gonna have something."
Yeah, with long hair and everything.
I had long hair,
sure,
absolutely.
Sure.
And Bob definitely looked like a biker guy. All right, well there's history number one.
Okay.
Let's go to the next one.
Okay.
All right, now we are at one of the most fondly remembered places in our whole area. This used to be Six Gun Territory. Robin's going to tell you about it because she used to work there. But first I want to show you what it's called now. It's a shopping plaza. Hold on. All right, there's the sign. Six Gun Plaza. Because this used to be Six Gun Territory. It was a theme park before Disney.
Exactly.
Before Universal. And where we're standing right now, right here, where there's an Outback Steakhouse, used to sit a train. And it invited people to come see Six Gun Territory. And Robin is going to tell you about it because she used to work here.
Oh. Well, that's a shopping center, as you can see. It's all over there. Oh, I'm in front of the camera. And this is Six Gun Territory. You would come in and you'd park in the parking lot. You would go to the ticket office and you would purchase your tickets. And then you would wait for the train. The train would come and you would get on the train with your family. In the beginning, there were cowboys on horses, and they also had a sky ride, so you could ride the big buckets into the park, and it was pretty amazing.
And the train took you from the parking lot to the park.
Yeah, because they built a big mountain there. It's pretty amazing. And
that mountain, by the way, was in the book of records as the tallest mountain in Florida.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Even though it was artificial.
And the park opened February 2nd, 1963. All the heavy hitters of the day would come here to Six Gun Territory. All of the famous cowboys that were on the television.
Bonanza.
Yeah, and in the movies.
Who else?
It was so
Who's the
great.
guy who's the kid you met?
Davy Crockett. They had, oh my gosh.
Daniel Boone?
And Daniel Boone, yeah. Now I can't my mind's blank now for his Darby Hinton.
Okay.
And all the heavy hitters would come here.
And Lauren Green was here.
Yeah, from Bonanza.
And who played Hoss? That guy was here.
Dan Blocker.
Dan Blocker.
Yeah, but all the other, like the Rawhide guys and all of the Western guys that were in the movies would come here also. Festus was here. He was pretty much fun.
What I want to add to what Robin's saying is that Walt Disney came here.
Mm-hmm.
He came here the same day that John F. Kennedy was shot.
Yeah.
And what he saw gave him an idea for Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
Because what he saw was a train that took people from the parking lot to the park. And he said, I want something like that separates the real world from the fantasy world. And he installed the monorail.
Right, exactly.
So the monorail took you from the parking lot at Disney World to the land.
Yeah, and it was pretty cool because you actually left all of this behind and you went into the park. It was a huge, huge town. They had gunfights, they had dancing girls, they had the Palace Saloon, they had a candy store. You could get your name on the headlines the way that they printed the paper all those, years ago during cowboy days.
Right.
Very, very fun. Very, very
And then tell this part. Toward the end, when it was struggling, come on, a noisy thing, you?
Yeah, it's got a big old...
Wait for this guy to get past.
Gosh, they had Can Girls. They had great shows. Ben Rossi was one of the directors of entertainment. Bridget Bartlett was the costumer. They had cowboy shows in the Red Dog Saloon.
Tell them what you did.
And I worked in the marketing department and I worked in the accounting department. So that was a lot of fun. My brother worked here. He was part of the musicians. He was, the groundskeeper. Everybody did everything here, and it was just such a wonderful time. Everybody was so kind and friendly to the children and their parents. It was a very, very magical place, a great day to spend the day.
So when Disney World opened up, that was pretty much the end of Six Gun territory.
Yes.
And it was also pretty much the end of tourists coming to Ocala. They came here for Six Gun territory and also for Silver Springs, which is now a state park.
That's right.
But what I wanted to tell you was I forget.
Well, the park did close.
I know what I want to tell you.
Yes, go ahead.
So, as Six Gun territory was struggling to stay open, they opened up a dinner theater. Talk about that.
It's the Gaslight and Velvet Dinner Theater. It was like the last year before it closed in 1981, I believe. It was very beautiful. They still had the big steam engine for the train, but then they had velvet cars, train cars, all enclosed, beautiful windows, brocade on the seats, beautiful curtains. Everything was gorgeous. The Can girls wore these beautiful shimmering dresses with the long gloves, and their hair was up, with the feathers and everything, and they were the hostesses on the train cars. And those cars would take you back to the park, and then you would exit the cars and you would be directed to the Palace Saloon, and that was where the dinner theater was. So there were different shows that were put on theatrical style of musicals and regular stage productions. And while that was going, because the stage is huge, and while that was going on, that everybody enjoyed dinner. So it was very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
And then after that, the park closed for a year and a half. It was myself and the park manager, two other people, Leanne Persinger and another lady in accounting. They kept us, and they kept Robbie and Elmer. They were in charge of maintenance in the train, and Don was kept. And so there was a very skeleton crew. We tried to get people to buy the park, asked the city of Ocala and the county of Marion, but they didn't want to buy the park. We had ideas to turn it into a working campground with the gunfighters and the, all that Western stuff. So then there was this company that was formed. There were some investors in Florida and Virginia. They got together, formed a corporation. They bought the park. It was here for about a year and a half, and then they shut down for good.
And when did they tear down the old cowboy town?
Oh, okay. In 1984, the park, January 1st, shut down for good. Then in 1986, they tore down all the buildings and pushed them together, set them on fire and everything, and that's when they built this shopping center.
And at first
Very magical place.
They didn't name it Six Gun Plaza. They named it something else.
Yeah, they did. But there was a big movement within the town now.
Yeah, everybody
that,
had such fond memories of Six Gun territory, so they renamed the shopping plaza, as you know, Six Gun Plaza.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next cool thing in Ocala history.
Okay.
All right, now we're at a location. I'm going to turn the camera around, and there's several things I want to show you here. So let's turn this around and show you. Come on, go around, baby. Go around. Go around. There you go. Okay. Now, you see this big triangle. Goes all the way over there, and it comes down around here to where we're standing. Well, this used to be a curio shop.
Silver Springs Curios.
Silver Springs Curios. And what did they sell in there, Robin?
Oh, they sold seashells, conch shells, little starfish.
Dried starfish,
yes.
Dried blowfish.
Sand dollars.
Yes.
Yeah, anything that lived under the sea, under the ocean, was for sale there.
Right.
Yeah.
And they had shellacked blowfish that were blown, like expanded, like blown up.
Right, and they had a lot of alligator stuff too.
Right.
Alligator heads and toes and back scratchers, all that cool stuff.
So I'm going to tell two stories from that. I bought one of those shellacked, expanded blowfish with the spikes.
Okay.
And I hung it from the ceiling of my bedroom.
Oh my.
That one I'm not too embarrassed by, but the next one I'm going to be embarrassed by.
Uh-huh.
Because the next one, I bought a fish, a dead fish, a dried dead fish from this curio shop, and I brought it home. My sister Doreen was 7 years younger than me, so that means she was probably 11. I was 18. I should have known better. But I put that dead fish, it didn't stink or anything, it was dried, but I put that in her bed.
Oh,
I know.
That's awful.
I'm sorry, I'm embarrassed. I told you, I'm embarrassed by it.
Wow.
But I was trying to get a laugh, you know me.
Yeah, you always want to laugh.
Anyway, when she found it, I did laugh, but then I felt bad afterwards.
Did you tell your mom and dad?
No. No, I'm embarrassed, not stupid. All right, so the other thing I want to tell you about this place is over there, across the street. Right there. That used to be a water park. Water slide. And what was it called?
Wild Waters.
It was called Wild Waters.
Opened in 1978.
What? Say it again?
Opened in 1978.
1978.
Yeah.
Did you ever go there?
Oh yeah, we went there a lot. It was really nice. My children were little. After, they were like 4 and 6. And it was really nice because there were businesses in town and the government offices like the Ocala Police Department, the firefighters and all. They would rent the park out at nighttime for their families. And then somebody would bring their big grill, they would cook out, and all of the employees would go and just have a great time at night. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. In a little while, we're going to drive over to the entrance to Paradise Park. That was, now Silver Springs, the theme park for Silver Springs is the other side of that water park.
Right.
And down that way was the entrance to Paradise Park. Now, it was before my time, and your time too, right?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
But whites and blacks were separated. The races were separated. Whites went to Silver Springs, blacks went to Paradise Springs. So we're going to show you that in a second.
Paradise Park,
I'm sorry. But the other thing I would tell you before we go to Paradise Park is I want to tell you about those photographs of the women and men underwater.
Yes.
They were taken by a guy named Bruce Mozart, M-O-Z-E-R-T. And he lived down that way somewhere. And yeah, am I saying the wrong place?
You're right.
Or down that way somewhere. Somewhere over there. Somewhere over there.
It'll be right.
Let me turn this around. Oops. All right, so Robin and I were friends with Bruce. Now, we weren't friends with him back then. That was in the 60s.
Yeah.
But we knew him, I guess, in the 90s, right?
Yeah, we did.
And we wrote a song about him called He Captured Mermaids.
Yeah,
And it's a pretty song.
it is.
And those pictures are historic. And Bruce has since passed away. And I don't know why, but he must have taken a liking to us. He asked me to, well, somebody asked me, but he must have asked somebody to ask me. When he died, he wanted me to do the eulogy at his funeral.
Yeah, and you
Which
did
was
a good job.
unbelievable.
It was
So,
emotional.
I mean, he was like a legend. And there I was standing in the church telling about him.
And Bruce put Silver Springs on the map.
Bruce did,
Because he
yes.
took pictures of women underwater, men underwater. He had actual scenes underwater, you know, a woman cooking, a fellow mowing the grass.
And movies
just
were
having
made
time.
underwater here too. Black Lagoon, Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Oh yeah, Tarzan.
Sea Hunt, Tarzan.
All of those movies. And Bruce invented the underwater camera housing. So all of those cameras could be into the housing and not get wet. The housing, the whole thing could be taken underwater. And that's how they got their great shots. He was here, came in the 1940s, I believe. And,
Yes.
he was really instrumental in the film industry as well, because he invented the underwater camera housing. So this is
Right.
pretty amazing. Thank you, Bruce. God bless you.
All right, let's head over to the entrance to Paradise Park.
Okay.
All right, now we're at the old entrance to Paradise Park. So we'll show you the entrance, but first I want to turn the camera around and show you the plaque that commemorates it. Here we go. Paradise Park at Silver Springs. Paradise Park was a theme park for African Americans, established in 1949 by Carl Ray and W.M. Shorty Davidson, the owners of nearby Silver Springs. The park was located on the south side of the Silver River, about 1/2 mile away from Silver Springs. Because of segregation, African Americans were barred from Silver Springs. But at Paradise Park, guests could enjoy similar attractions such as glass bottom boat rides and river cruises. From 1949 to 1967, Eddie Leroy Vereen, a former boat captain, managed the tropical setting and employed many of his own family members in the running of the park. Guests could also swim in the 100-foot crescent-shaped white sand beach, purchase souvenirs from the gift shop, have their picture taken by legendary underwater photographer Bruce Mozart, and visit animal exhibits and shows. Paradise Park was regarded by civic, business, and religious leaders throughout the nation as the finest park built specifically for African Americans. As one of 3 major Florida beaches that catered to African Americans, this park drew about 100,000 visitors a year. Paradise Park closed in 1969 as a result of integration. And there is the entrance right there. And there is more writing on the other side of this sign, so let's see what this says on the other side. And
Same thing.
yeah, same thing.
Yep,
But
same
isn't that interesting?
It is interesting, and everything that was at Silver Springs Park was at Paradise Park. Ross Allen was the reptile guru at Silver Springs Park, and he had a counterpart at Paradise Park. They had everything over there the same. They had the beautiful women in swimsuits. They had them in the long dresses. It was just so gorgeous.
Right. So this was the entrance right here, where this truck is now coming out. Very cool. Very kind of unknown. Only local people seem to remember it.
Yeah, and there's a walker over there, so he must have been walking
Yeah.
the trail. This is the Great Florida Birding Trail. It is interwoven here with the Marjorie Harris Carr walkway. So
Right. Yes.
You know, this is very, very historic and very scenic.
Yeah, so you could visit in there, but I guess you just can't go through this particular gate.
Exactly.
All right, let's go to the next historic thing in Ocala.
Okay.
Look at this, they're training a dog to be a dog that hunts for things, I guess. What do you call it, a sniff dog? A scent dog? A dog that can look for scents? That's pretty cool. That's awesome. All right, let's go to the next thing. All right, now
Yeah.
we're on Silver Springs Boulevard
Or State Road 40.
or Ocala Avenue,
That's correct.
which is before my time.
Yeah.
And,
1800s.
And we're standing right outside the Ocala Shopping Center. Let me turn it around and show you. Come on, do that thing. Do it one more time.
There it goes.
Oh, somebody scraped the bottom.
Bottom down.
All right, so let's talk about this place for a little bit. While we're talking about it, we'll show you some old photos if we can. But this is the Ocala Shopping Center. Robin's going to tell you she used to work down there. I'll tell you that in a second. Oh, she'll tell you. Staples, when I was first here, was a public supermarket.
Correct.
And then Robin's going to tell you some of these other places because I'm not that familiar. But over there, where the Ace... Do you have to be that loud? Do they? Do they have to be that loud? All right. So over there's the Ace Hardware. That used to be a movie theater.
Yep, it was called the Twin Theater, and then they added a third screen, so it was the Triple Theater.
Right.
Yep.
And now there's a movie theater down there that sort of kind of took its place.
Yeah.
All right, and let me just show you the boulevard. I want to show you one thing real quickly because this is a main drag in Ocala. A main drag.
Oh, that's right.
And we're standing in the spot where the broadcast happens every Christmas parade. And it's a very popular parade. What, 80,000 people showed up this year?
Right, right.
Wow.
You can see the lights on the post across the street right there.
Oh yeah, okay.
Where the reviewing stand
Got to be
is.
near the microphone for them to hear you. Okay, it doesn't matter if left or right. It doesn't matter left or right.
Okay, all right.
All right. So anyway, we want to show you the boulevard, and I want to tell you that we have a picture. I don't know where it's from on the boulevard, but here it is right here. I'll show you the B-roll. Rainbow Lakes Estates land was being sold from one of the real estate offices here, and that got my attention because that's where I first lived when my parents moved from from New York to Florida. We moved to a place in Rainbow Lakes Estates near Dunellen, north of Dunellen. All right, back to here. All right, so Robin, you need to be near the microphone. There you go.
So where Staples is now, that's where the Publix shopping center, the Publix grocery store was. It was the main grocery store in Ocala, along with the A&P, which is a few miles down the road. That was founded by George Jenkins, and he was a really nice man. Right next to that was Norman Music. Right next to that was the Publix Bakery. Right next to that was Walgreens, and then this furniture store is the iconic Reinauer store. They had sold wedding dresses, perfume, they sold really nice china, everything like that. A beautiful chic store, just absolutely gorgeous. And on the other side of Staples, where the Publix was, there was a dentist office there, Dr. Powers. There was a post office was right there, and when you go inside to the post office, which was in the back, it was a nice tiny shop with curios and things like that. Right next to that, where O'Reilly's was Woolworths. You could go in there, buy a lot of stuff. You'd be able to sit at the lunch counter, have chocolate shakes and whatever else was on their grill. Right next to that was the dentist's office. Right next to that was was a jewelry store. Right next to that was Dr. Hughes. He was one of the main optometrists in town who I worked for 3 years after I moved here. And then right next to that was Rec Shoe Repair. And it's a fabulous shopping center. Everything that anybody needed was right here.
All right, now we're going to take a walk. We're going to take a walk on the sidewalk. Let me make sure I got this set right.
We'll be going west. We'll be walking west. Oh, and Loritos. We can't forget that.
Yeah, don't forget Loritos.
Yeah, Loritos was the Italian restaurant in town. And that was a wonderful, wonderful restaurant.
I love Loritos.
Yeah.
Everybody has great memories of Loritos.
Yeah, the first part was just booze. You could watch them make the pizza and stuff. And in the back was a more romantic setting. And that's where the kitchen was way past that. Really nice place.
All right. So the reason I want to walk is because I want to show you where Robin lived when she first moved here.
Yeah.
Tell that story as we walk there.
Well, my folks would always come to Florida on vacation since the 1960s, early 60s, with my brother and I when we were growing up. And they fell in love with Florida. My grandparents moved to Largo, Florida in 1971. Christmas of 72, we came down to visit them at Christmas. We got home in January of 1973. My folks thought, well, let's move to Florida, because that way we'll be close to my grandparents. So they came down, they found a motel. They weren't looking for a motel. We came back down on vacation. Then they were going to look for stuff. We always stayed at the Lamar Motel every time we came down here over the years. They were talking to the owners. The owners said they're putting it up for sale. My folks called my aunt and uncle, and they said, sure, we'll move too. And so they bought the motel. And in March of 1973, we moved down, and in May, everything was closed. The deal was closed and all that, so it was really nice.
Yeah. Tell the part about how prior to making the decision to move to Florida, your father was a city worker for the city of Cudahy, right? Milwaukee?
Yeah, he was. Cudahy.
Okay. And how much snow he had to plow?
Oh yeah, he was called out on Christmas Eve. There's, tons of snow. Snow drifts up to the bottom of the eaves and things like that.
And did that play a role, do you think, in him wanting to live in Florida, was to get away from the snow?
No, I think it was because my mom's mother, my grandmother, and my grandfather moved to Florida. My mom was missing her really, really bad. So that was the pivotal point of them moving to Florida. My mom loved her family. She loved being with family. And my aunt and uncle, my aunt was my mom's sister. She was missing her mom too, so it only made sense
to move down
here because it was because of family. It wasn't because of anything else.
So real quickly before we go anywhere else, this right here, Robin, I'm pointing to that.
Yeah.
That's the old sign for Loritos
Italian Kitchen.
Pizzeria.
That's right.
And I'm hoping they don't take the sign down because it's kind of a landmark. In the future, you're going to be looking at this video and you're going to be saying, look at that, gas was only $3.29.
That's right. Well, if you're way in the future, these gas stations probably won't even exist anymore.
That's right.
Electric cars.
Right.
And all of the motels along here were mom and pop operations. Like this was a motel, the next one was a motel, the next one was a motel, and then it was the Lamar Motel. And they were all filled.
And now they're little shopping plazas.
Yeah. That building across the street, that's a South State Bank. That was a hotel because it was 2 stories.
So the hotel was 2 stories. A motel was 1 story.
Right.
So this right here was a motel. But we don't know the name, right?
I can't recall.
And that was a motel. It's now assisted living. Now we're getting pretty close to where you used to live.
Yeah.
How long did you live there?
1973 to 4 years, I think.
4 years?
Before it was sold, yeah, because the bottom fell out of the economy in 74.
I-75 was built
Yeah.
and traffic wasn't coming this way as much anymore.
No, because Disney
And then Disney, yeah.
was open up there. This is the Twin Palms.
This was Twin Palms?
Yeah. See, there's the palm trees there. There's another set of palm trees behind there.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a slow walker.
Sorry. I was walking too fast.
No, I'm saying that guy. He passed us.
This is where the motel used to be, right here.
The Lamar was right here? Show me where. Let me get you in the picture. Hold on. Let me get you in the picture. All right, you back up so I can see you, and I'll repeat what you say in case we don't hear you.
Okay, this is where the office was, and units 1 through 10 was this way.
Okay.
They were kitchenettes, all kitchenettes. You could, and then there was another L like this, perpendicular to this, and those were the other units. Where Citrus Zone back is was a big house. Same layout.
Where was the
level.
swimming pool?
The swimming pool is where all those cars are parked right now.
Oh, wow.
Huge, huge swimming pool, beautiful. Stretching all the way back past that the fence. They called it the back 40. It was all open. It all belonged to the motel. You could have parties back there. You could play volleyball, all that stuff.
Huh.
We saw a few snakes there, blue indigos. And we call Silver Springs, and they'd come and get them because it was against the law to kill the blue indigo snakes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And let's see, right past the black truck was the laundry room with the washer and dryer in it. And of course, we did all the laundry, the owners, for everything. So it's a nice place, very comfy.
Very cool.
Very.
All right, now tell me a little bit more about this neighborhood. What was over there across the street?
Okay, this was the hotel, was across the street. I can't remember the name of it. And right next door to it was a restaurant, Morrison's Cafeteria it was called. You'd walk in, it was a buffet, and you would choose everything you wanted to on a tray, from salads to entrees to dessert, all that stuff. And then by the time you got done and you were going to pay,
Right.
then there would be a waiter there, and he would take your tray and he would take you to a table and, empty your tray, so you'd have a really nice dining experience. And over there where it says a Lifestyle sign, that building was the Village Inn restaurant. They had the best pies ever.
Ah, okay.
So this is very historic, few blocks here.
Especially for you. Your family. You lived here.
Yeah, we sure did.
Very cool. All right, now we're closer to the downtown area.
Yep,
And there's
downtown Ocala.
a lot of stuff we have to tell you here. Just a real quick note. There's a lot of other things we're not going to cover.
Yeah.
Either because we forgot about them, we never knew about them, or we just left them out.
Yeah.
So, but I want to show you this one right here. I'm not going to cross the street because it's too busy.
Yeah.
But this right here, let me see if I can get out into the street a little bit before traffic comes. This right here is Paramore Music. and other businesses. But it used to be a movie theater called the Ritz Movie Theater. And I'm not sure if it was a blacks only theater. But I remember when I first moved here in the early 70s, I was told that it was a blacks only theater.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that was just by like the community just decided that, or if it was actually a law, like with the Paradise Park. I don't know. I doubt it. I doubted it was a law because integration had already happened.
Well, there are two movie theaters. This one and then the Marion Theater a few blocks away. So it makes sense for when that was happening, when this was built.
Okay. But in the days when I first lived here in the 70s,
Yes.
that Marion Theater was not a theater.
Right.
I think it was just an empty building.
Right, it was. Oh, way back.
Way back, yeah.
That theater, the Marion Theater,
Yeah.
and this theater, it was segregated.
So in the 70s, when I was a kid, we'd go to the other theater that we just looked at over by the Ocala Shopping Center. Why? Why are cars so loud these days?
They're loud, but they have no power. It's just a kit or something.
Why?
You can buy. I don't understand it.
What is with the loud cars?
It's too loud.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so we have some old photos to show you that we'll try to match up with where we're walking here. Anyway, there's the new hotel. We've showed it before.
We've seen it before.
The Hilton Garden Inn is what it's called. And
Way down there are the tracks. Going to
right now we're crossing the tracks. All right. Let me get in the shade so I got my camera set up. There we go. All right. So anyway, yeah. So we are at where the railroad tracks cross Silver Springs Boulevard. It's called Osceola Avenue, or Southeast Osceola Avenue, and you see the train still does work. You see the crossing thing right there?
Oh yeah, the train does come there.
All right, let's walk. Let's walk and talk. So, last time we took a walk down here, there was somebody in the median with a crazy sign. He's
coming back.
He's just a very loud car. I don't know why they're so loud. Being loud should not be allowed. Not a whole lot to look at in there. Let me show you inside the, if I can show you. Oh, all I'm showing is my reflection.
Yeah, it's a dirt
Anyway,
floor.
it's still a dirt floor in there. But anyway, I guess they'll develop it eventually. So now where this hotel is, the new hotel, used to be an old hotel, and we'll show you some pictures of that.
Oh yeah.
See if
Very
we
historic hotel.
see if we can line them up. Let's go this way. And we'll throw in some old pictures of the Marion Block building, which is right over there. It's called Harry's now. Well, the restaurant in it is called Harry's. And I think the Cantera Mexican restaurant here, Cantina. I think that we used to be the location of the First Methodist Church. And I'll show you that picture. I'm not sure that's the right location, but I think so.
This is First Avenue, which was Main Street.
Yeah, Main and Fort King is what it said on the address. Yeah. Hello, lizard. Let me get the lizard.
Here, lizard. There he is.
He's sunbathing.
Yeah.
Hello, lizard. Whoa! He ran away.
He's camera shy.
Let me go back in the shade so I get the camera back to where it needs to be. What's that?
It's still dirt.
Still dirt inside?
Yeah, I just looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, see,
Not sure why that is.
see it? You can see dirt.
Yeah, maybe.
See, it's all dirt.
Let me see if I can get my phone on there. Get some video with the phone up against the glass.
You can see it real good here with the sun.
I know, but my camera's getting reflections. So let me put that there. Yeah. There's the bottom floor of the hotel.
Yep.
How much for that bottom floor? Go get a room. Say, how much for that bottom? I want to sleep on. I'll camp. I'll put my tent up there.
Yeah, to check in at the hotel, you have to take the elevator to the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why they have a dirt floor on the bottom.
It's been here a couple of years now.
Bet you could dig and find some old artifacts.
I think the hotel's like 5 years old already, and
Yeah.
they still have dirt floors.
So we think that location right there was the First Methodist Church. We're not sure.
Yeah.
And over there, where the parking garage is, which is where we parked,
Right.
I don't remember what used to be there.
No, I don't either. But this was the county seat. Marion County was the city of Ocala.
Still is.
Yeah, it still is. Do something so they know we're crossing the street.
Okay. Well, how do you let them know?
We're just walking on the road.
Just walk into the road? Okay.
Yeah.
Let them go. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, watch it, ma'am. Hey, it's supposed to wait for me. It's supposed to wait for me. Yeah, there's a story for almost all of these buildings here.
Uh-huh.
So, but I specifically want to show you down this road over here. If you're familiar with Ocala, you know the gazebo over there.
Uh-huh.
And we've walked this many times in other videos.
And this whole area used to be the courthouse.
This was the courthouse, right? With us.
Historical building, beautiful building.
And if you go to Inverness, you will see an old courthouse that's still intact,
And still usable.
still used, mostly as a museum, I think.
Yeah, but
But-
they do have offices in there.
And you can see where Elvis Presley filmed "Follow That Dream."
That's right.
All right,
And Elvis Presley filmed Follow That Dream here too.
that's right here across the street.
Right here.
All right, I'm gonna sit because
Okay.
my old man legs are telling me I need to sit.
Okay.
All right, well, we're gonna scan the block of South Magnolia down that and Broadway. Down that way, if you can see my finger, is the Marion Theater. It's kind of hard to see it. And just past that, actually, is the new one called the Mellow Mushroom.
Uh-huh.
And as I pan over here, there's the theater. Not sure what all is over there, everything. But that right there is the lodge. That used to be a jewelry store when Robin was a young lady.
Yep.
And she got her ears pierced there, right?
Yep.
And then it became a Starbucks. Mark's Prime right there. I don't know what that used to be. Do you?
No, I don't recall.
O'Malley's Alley. It's one of my favorite places in Ocala. What is this one called? The Roth?
Shannon Roth Collection.
Shannon Roth Collection. And that tall building right in the middle there has a real historic connection. Sherry Irwin is a lady we know in town, and she was the daughter of the lady, well, she is the daughter of the lady who painted the famous copper tone ad where the dog is pulling down the little girl's bathing suit. And I think Sherry is the little girl.
Sherry's being.
Yeah, I believe that's Sherry in that picture.
Yeah.
And then on the corner right there where it says Brick City Southern Kitchen, that used to be when I was first living here, a drugstore.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it was called. All right, let's walk down to that corner because I have some old pictures I want to kind of use as B-roll here. All right, let's go over there. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. Now we feel like we're in a city here, Robin. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're making something, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's that old building.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That's pretty cool.
Do you know who used to live in this building?
Coppertone.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. Somebody moving in now?
Oh no, it's all commercial now.
Oh, it's coming.
Oh,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, he knew.
Yeah.
Coppertone lady.
Yeah.
Paint like Bob Ross. There
Well,
you
I
go.
guess you could take classes from somebody.
All right, so now I want to look down this road right here. So if you look down, now this building over here, there's my finger on, I don't know what it's called, but it says 1911, I think, or 1811
Yes.
on the building. I don't know what that building's called, but it's kind of like a landmark, and I'll put some B-roll on here, you'll see it. Now, in one of the old B-roll pictures, this whole block from that hotel right there, that big hotel, all the businesses this side of it that are not there anymore. I think McCrory's was one.
Kennedy's Menswear.
Say it, tell me.
Kennedy's Menswear.
What else?
I don't
You don't know?
remember. No.
Wasn't Sears down there?
Sears. Yeah, I think Sears was down there. J.C. Penney, Belk Lindsay, maybe, unless Belk Lindsay was behind us. I
Yeah.
can't recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Very historic. And the young construction guy knew about the Coppertone
Yeah.
story.
Well, maybe they'll put a plaque in there one day.
And if you look down the boulevard right here, you see the corner of the hotel.
Uh-huh.
The old hotel in the B-roll seems like it goes out into what is now the 2 lanes on the right. So I think it was just a 2-lane road. Wasn't it a 2-lane road when we first moved here?
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a 2-lane road.
Yeah.
And so they've expanded and everything, but when it was first, in this county seat in the 1800s, I mean, it was all dirt and the horses and everything.
Yeah. All right, let's turn around. There's my big face. All right, so we're going to leave this area now. We got a few more places we're going to show you from the car,
Yeah.
and then we'll be done with this video.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, here we go. Okay, we are rolling, and here we go.
Okay, we're going to exit the parking garage and go to the S curve. It's called the S curve.
And what's the significance of the S curve? What did we find?
On the S curve is a boarding house, a really nice looking boarding house, not there now. And then there's a city service gas station right there. So and this building you're looking at on the right was designed by the same architect that designed the Cascades shopping center in Ocala, Florida. Hal Reed.
Give you a cleaner.
You got your wipers. Ooh, look at all the state law enforcement vehicles that are parked here.
Yeah.
Wow. The whole street is lined with them.
Yep.
They're having some kind of convention. Man, we saw the same thing when we were at the Silver Springs area.
But that was the,
With the,
Fresh Fish and Wildlife
Life Commission. Yeah, they were doing their stuff, their training, and these guys must be training here. And again, you're looking north on First Avenue. And there's the Marion Theater.
Okay, now the old buildings that we have in the old photographs, we're not really sure exactly where they would have been, but it was on the S curve, right? And
Yeah.
then on Pine.
Yep.
Now I'm welcoming the cool air because I got so hot walking around.
Oh, yeah.
And real quickly, if you can aim out the left window here, not the cleaners, and not this building, which used to be a gun shop,
Yep. Art Lawson Guns.
but this building used to be WTMC.
Radio station.
Yes, guess who worked there?
You did.
Hey.
Hey. Welcome to Marion County. First radio station in Marion County.
Well, that guy didn't even look.
No, he didn't even stop.
He just went across the street without looking.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so now this, after this light, this is called the S curve. And somewhere on here is that boarding house, right? Or was the boarding house?
Was the boarding house and was the gas station.
So I'm not sure
The
where.
city service gas station was on the northwest corner, and the boarding house was across from it. So it's somewhere in this section right here. Ooh, there's a... I saw... Yeah, I see blue lights over there. They're
A
working
blue
on
light
something.
special.
Yep.
Oh, they're fixing the lights or something.
Yeah, look at that.
Maybe they're putting up smart lights.
Ooh, that would be nice. We would welcome those. Yeah, this is the S curve.
So now we're going to show you a few other things before we wrap up the video. And one of them is going to be the Brahma.
Yeah.
The Brahma was, I guess you would call it a nightclub,
Uh-huh.
a bar, a restaurant, all of the above.
Yeah, it was very high scale.
And
Mike and Linda Reese owned it at one time.
okay, was this the corner? No, it was down that way,
Yeah,
right?
it was right down that way. It wasn't too far from
Okay,
here.
all right. So we're
Yeah.
gonna go. Now this is 200 right here, right?
That's right.
So that
Yeah.
gas station was one of these four corners.
Yeah,
That city service gas station.
right.
Okay.
And right there where it says the for lease or sale sign under the billboard, that was the location of the A&P grocery store.
Oh right, right.
And right down that road was the Pine Street Shopping Center. That was the second shopping center.
Even though it was called Pine Avenue.
That's right. But the Pine Street Shopping Center.
So anyway, the Brahma, we're going to show you. I'll show you the old picture. Later on became known as the Encore.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be a more modern nightclub experience. And I was hired to play the guitar and sing like a coffee house guy would do.
Right.
And that's what I was, a coffee house guy. But then they upped the image. They didn't want a coffee house anymore. They wanted it more disco. And so Guitar Pick and Larry He's fired.
But you prevailed. Because you got
prevailed.
an attorney and they had to honor your contract.
They did.
That's
financially.
right. Well, that's right. That's all you needed. Just the right thing to do. And again, back then this road wasn't that wide.
And believe it or not, Ocala used to be a location for spring training for the, I think, the New York Yankees.
Yep.
And we'll show you that where that used to be too. After a little bit.
Yep. So the Brahma should be almost there.
The Brahma's on the other side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think, unless that was it right there.
Okay.
I think it's this corner though.
Okay.
I'll know it when I see it.
Okay. Well, Cameo Photo is coming up.
Oh yes, talk about that.
And Cameo Photo is was the premier place where you would get your camera supplies
And it
and
was
things
right
like that.
there, that building
Melded
right
Law.
there. That
This
building right
building
there.
right here. And it's got a downstairs. They developed the film right there. Everything was right there for anybody that was a photographer.
And I loved that
Pretty
store
cool.
because I loved cameras for some reason.
Yeah. Well, you still do.
I guess I still do, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The Cameo Photo is, again, another iconic entity and is no longer here. But as they say, time marches on. Everything's got to move forward. Everything's got to develop into something bigger and better. And that's the good thing. That's what everybody does. Ooh, there's Florida Fall right there in January. That bush. And everything that's here now was all different back then.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
that.
think you're right. I think that's the corner
Oh, I know it was.
that the Bravo
So
was
that's
on.
the corner. You can't see it because of the cars. But there's a marathon station there. And what used to be a Burger King, and now it's a florist.
Uh-huh.
And next to that is a Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
And somewhere in those three buildings was the building that was called the Brahma, and then later on the Encore,
Right.
and the parking for that place.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was pretty much, probably where the Burger King is now is probably the most accurate spot.
And the Encore didn't last long.
The Encore did not last long,
Yeah, the
no.
Brahma did, but the Encore, when it changed, and did not last long.
Yeah, the Encore was similar to the story you told about the Blue Velvet, what was it called?
Gaslight and Velvet Dinner
Yeah,
Theater, yeah.
Almost had that same kind of a story
Yeah.
where the people tried really hard to make something nice and it just didn't take off.
Yeah. But there's a lot of different entities now in Ocala that has each bar on this on the downtown square in Ocala. They each have their own flavor of music, their own specialty food that they serve, their own specialty drinks that they serve. So it's not just one type of music or one type of food or one type of beverage. There's something for everybody down
Imagine it,
there.
one type of beverage. We only
Yeah.
serve Coke. Actually, at the World of Coca-Cola, that is all they serve. is
Yeah,
Coke.
that's right. What you expected. But there's regular beer, there's IPA beer, there's molten ale, there's mixed drinks, there's fancy Caribbean
say-
drinks, there's everything.
Did you say IPA beer?
Yeah. Independently produced ale.
I know, but you said IPA beer.
Right. Right. I did, because people think
IPA soda.
is a beer.
IPA soda.
Oh, okay. Now I got it.
It takes the juvenile mind, Robin. You can't hear it.
I know, it's over my head, let me tell you.
You had
It takes
to,
me
you
a
had
while.
to, you had to hear it with juvenile ears.
Yeah.
Even though I'm almost 69, and I hear that number with juvenile ears too.
Well, we're going south on Pine or Highway 441, and we'll be coming up on the Sheriff's Department that used to be.
So I want to show you the building that used to be the Sheriff's Department, and an old picture of Sheriff Don Moreland,
Yeah.
and an old picture of Deputy Ken Ergel,
Yeah.
who later on became Sheriff Ken Ergel,
Yes, he did.
and he was an acquaintance. It was kind of a friend.
Sure.
We knew him.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta turn here. I'm not sure.
Don Moreland too.
Yeah, Don, and I think Don goes to our church.
Yeah, he does.
Same
And there's
church as
the
us.
building way up on the hill
Yeah, we're gonna go over there.
up there. Yeah, Don goes to our church. Nice man.
All right, here we go. Now we're going to show you what used to be the sheriff's department, and now the sheriff's department is way on the other side of town.
Next to the jail.
Yes.
I mean, everything's all in that complex there, so it's really nice.
So here we go. I wasn't even sure this building was still here, but it is.
Yeah, there it is.
All right, there it is.
Let me pause.
Can you see it? Can you show it?
Yeah, I am.
Is it on the camera?
Yeah, it's on
There
there.
we go. That's the old sheriff's office.
Yep, right there. Still has the color, the green.
I don't know what's there now. Oh, it's a Community Foundation Nonprofit Resource Center.
Mm-hmm. Nice. But that's it.
All right, now we are coming to what used to be a baseball complex. It had a name, and I'll find it later on. I can't remember the name, but it's where the spring training was for the New York Yankees.
Yeah. It was pretty cool too.
And if you can show it over there, you can sort of see it's still a sports complex.
Right.
But it's no longer used for spring training.
For the
course.
New York Yankees or anybody.
So now it's called the Martin Luther King Jr. Recreation Complex.
Yep. They have a lot of concerts out here, a lot of craft shows, different sporting events. They have a bluegrass festival that's coming up. Really, really nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Also, the Hampton Center is down here somewhere.
Right, exactly. And that's an offshoot of the College of Central Florida. They have offices and classrooms here too. But this is pretty cool. Yankees spring training. Yay.
All right, kids. Well, that's the whole video for today. If you can hit it 3 times, you can turn it around and you
This
can
one?
look it up.
This one? This
Yes.
one?
Yeah, no, on the right.
This one.
On the right. On the right. Yeah.
Okay.
3 times. There you go. There you go. Now you see us?
Okay.
Are we doing good?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
There we are. So we had a good time cruising memories in Ocala and cruising what's here now, and it really is nice. We always have to move forward and live in the present.
And it's so much, as I mentioned earlier, so much that we did not cover.
Yeah.
Either we forgot about it, never knew about it, or just left it out. There's a couple things we left out that we meant to put in there, like the International House of Pancakes, IHOP. Used to be the Plantation House of Pancakes. So
Yeah.
a pancake house is still a pancake house.
That's right.
And then Ocala High School used to be 8th Street.
It's
now 8th Street Elementary School.
Yep.
So a school is still a school.
Yeah, it is. It is very much so. But everybody's town, wherever anybody lives, always has their gems of what was in the past and what's there now.
Right.
And it's always good to explore your own backyard. So
And
we had a good time.
I'll tell you a little trick. When you're in any city, if you look at the old building and you look up at the top of the building, you might see what it used to be. Like in Ocala, that 1911, I think it said 1911. I mean, it gives you an idea of when it was built. Some of those old buildings back there have names on them, like the Marion Block building.
Yep.
And I'm sure in your own city you probably could do the same thing. Just look above everything and you'll see sometimes a hint of what used to be.
That's right. Exactly.
All right. Take care.
Be good.
Don't forget to write.
Remember, writing is very important.
And the world
spins fine.
on her own.
Yeah, it does.
Baby.